No, they're going to pass it because there's 4 or 5 of them that are going to talk. Need a mic check? No. It's got to be on. Are you getting interference? I won't move it.
Hello, everybody. My name is Sergeant Brian Bauer. That's spelled B-R-I-A-N. Bauer is B-O-W-E-R. I am the Maricopa County Coordinator for Silent Witness, as well as a Sergeant with the Phoenix Police Department under the Public Affairs Bureau. I want to start off and thank everybody for coming today. The reason that we're here today is for a 17-year-old victim who was shot tragically and lost her life because of the gun violence that's plaguing our streets, not just within our state, but also nationwide. Part of Silent Witness is reaching out to the community to ask for your help. We need the community's involvement when it comes to these kinds of cases to ensure that the family can have some resolve, have peace in conclusion of the case, and to assist our detectives with whatever information that you might have. This could be information that you might not seem as important, but to the detective, it could be the one piece of vital information that can really find and identify the suspects involved. Like I said, Desiree was 17 years old. She was attending a graduation party on May 14th, 2023, just after midnight. Desiree was there with some friends. Unfortunately, a tragic event that led to her death was caused at this graduation party where individuals were involved in shooting guns. Desiree was involved as far as she was stuck in the crossfire and was shot and killed on that event. It's a very tragic event, not just for the family that we have here today, but for the community as a whole. I want to thank the family for showing up and being there and being here for Desiree and in her memories, and hope that the information that we all learned today can help influence other families out there that might be struggling with the same loss, the same grief, and realize that you're not alone. We all can help each other in identifying the suspects involved in all the different cases around us. One last thing I'd like to tell people about Silent Witness specifically is if you have some information and you might have been attending that graduation party or you know somebody who was, if you have any information, and that could be video from your cell phone, pictures that you took at that party, and you want to speak up, but you don't want to be involved in a police report or be subpoenaed to court, it's understandable. Silent Witness is there so that we can be that gap, that bridge between law enforcement and you helping out your community. You can go to 480-WITNESS, 480-TESTIGO, make those calls, provide that information. You can also do an electronic tip on silentwitness.org where you can have access to providing those pieces of evidence, whether it's pictures or video, as an attachment, and you will stay anonymous. If there's any questions, please feel free to give us a call, and we'd be more than happy to explain how that process works so that families can have resolution to these very tragic and very life-altering events. With that being said, I do have the family members here that are going to be able to speak on behalf of Desiree, be able to provide their memories and answer some questions when they're finished. I'd like to send the mic over to FBI Assistant Special Agent in Charge, Phil Bates. The coordination between Silent Witness and the FBI is a very unique relationship, very strong relationship. Silent Witness was able to provide $2,000 as a reward. FBI came in and graciously assisted and made the reward go up to $12,000 by adding their own $10,000 for this particular investigation. Phil.
Good afternoon. My name is Philip Bates. That's Phillip Bates. I'm the Assistant Special Agent in Charge for the FBI Field Office in Phoenix. On behalf of the men and women of the FBI in Phoenix, let me say how sad we are to have to be here today. Desiree's future was bright, but now her family is left to grieve her sudden loss. No family should have to endure the pain that you are feeling, and for that we are truly sorry. In addition to hearing from Desiree's family today about the young person she was and how bright her future should have been, we're here today to appeal to those people who were there that night, who know what happened. All we ask is that you do the right thing to come forward with information that will help us find out exactly what occurred, to give some kind of closure to Desiree's family, and to hold the person or people responsible accountable for their actions that evening. The FBI works every day with our law enforcement partners like Phoenix PD to stay ahead of the violence in our communities, to deliver justice for crimes committed in our neighborhoods, and today is no exception. You might have, as you've just heard, the FBI has added $10,000 to the Silent Witness reward, leading to the arrest and conviction of those involved in Desiree's death. Rewards are about persuading people to provide information to help solve a crime. It's an attempt to use money to overcome fear and whatever else is holding people back from sharing information. We hope that this reward, coupled with ongoing investigative techniques, will help identify a suspect in Desiree's case. While we know it will never end the heartbreak that you are feeling, finding the guilty party will help bring some closure to everyone involved. Until then, the FBI will continue to assist Phoenix PD with this case. Responsible are apprehended. Thank you, Sergeant Bauer.
So I did have everybody pass out the media opportunity. It does have the spelling for the family members' information on there, as well as us up here at the podium. So please refer to that. With that being said, for the family of Desiree, there's a lot of people out there that are watching the news, that are going to be watching these segments on social media, on all these different networks. A lot of these people, these individuals, they don't know Desiree, the kind of person that she is. Can you please give us a better understanding of who she was and how this case has affected your lives personally?
This is my daughter, Desiree. She was only 17. There's so much I could say that what kind of person she was. She was amazing. The main thing that stuck with me is she was very family-oriented. She always talked about how she couldn't wait to be a mom, and she loved being an aunt to her nephews and nieces. She loved her tias. She loved being around family. She was just an amazing person. If you ever got to meet her, you would know how amazing she was. And this is terrible. I think what hurts the most, and I just can't comprehend at this point, is all the future events we had planned and we're not going to be able to do. I remember doing a father-daughter dance with her on her quince, and we were talking about how when's our next dance going to be, and she was like, probably at my wedding. I was like, oh, I'm going to cry. But she's amazing, and I'm going to miss her, and I'm sure all our family is, and we just want justice, and I personally want to thank the FBI for adding an additional amount, and I hope they take the opportunity to get that money so we can get justice for Desiree. Thank you. Wanna say something?
I'm Melissa. I'm Danny's sister, Desiree's aunt. So the thing with our family is that we have a really big family, My mom has 5 kids, 12 grandkids. Desiree was the oldest of the granddaughters. She was my first niece, and she was just the most amazing little person, like so sweet and sassy. But the thing with her is that she took the responsibility of being one of the oldest and made sure to take care of everyone, take care of all her little cousins. And there wasn't a moment that she wasn't by my side when we had to cook or do any of that kid activities. She just was so wise, but beyond her years, and just had this calmness about her where everyone just wanted to be around her. She had so much impact on everyone's lives. I mean, we go through these moments here, but it's like nothing's going to describe how she was and how she'll always be with us. But I would say, a lot of the comments, being said about us getting robbed, I mean, it's just, we would never in a million years imagine that we'd be here. Desiree was ripped from our lives. It was just literally a simple night out with friends. Her parents were just discussing how they just never really let her out, and she was going to be 18, and so it's like, let these kids have fun. I don't understand why they can't go to a party and actually enjoy their childhood. Her killer is out there living their life with no remorse. I mean, they're just reckless actions. They took our beautiful Desiree. So we're here. I mean, we're determined to find justice for our beloved Desiree and hoping to seek closure from this horrible pain. So if there was anyone that was in the area and is withholding information, you are just as guilty as the one that pulled the trigger. That same weekend, 7 shooting deaths occurred. Gun violence is unnecessarily taking our youth. Please don't be afraid to come forward. Whatever you know or may have heard, no matter how small you think it is, please talk to Silent Witness or the police. The shooters must be made accountable for their actions before another family is left broken like ours. We're just pleading for help.
Hi, my name is Vanessa, Desiree's mom. I mean, there's so many good memories that you just can't pick one. But I know that Desiree was just the type of person that would think of others before thinking of herself. And she would give the best Mother's Day messages to me. And she would write a whole paragraph. I'm never gonna get that again. Sorry.
My name is Ricky. I'm Desiree's stepdad, Vanessa's husband. Been in Desiree's life since she was like 2 years old, so I loved her just like she was one of mine. She was one of mine, and God, man, to have known her is just, she was so full of life. She was a cheerleader at her school, but that's just who she was. She was just a cheerleader in personality. She was always hyping up the room and getting everybody excited, and it's just not fair. It's just not fair. I mean, nothing's the same without her. It hurts because we have 2 younger children, her sister Adriana, her brother Roman at the house, and when I go check on him at night, before we go to bed, I have to walk past Desiree's room. And it just hurts. It hurts so much. And like I said, nothing's ever going to be the same. I mean, there's nothing that anybody could do to get her back, but like they've said here, I mean, if anybody knows any information that at least grant us some peace, you know, a little bit of justice, because this is just not fair.
Hi, I'm Desiree's Aunt Jacqueline. Desiree was such a smart and strong person. She was the best niece, the best friend, the best daughter, and the best cousin. Even in her last moments, she was holding up to that, being a great friend and waiting for her friend to come out so she can assure that they all got out safely and together. She always made sure that no one was left behind. She took care of everyone. She was such a good caretaker and was always defending the people she loved. She was just at my house a week before she passed and was talking about her plans for her upcoming senior year and even her plans for college. I talked to her about high school and how it can be tough, but can also be one of the funnest years of your life. I told her to enjoy this time and how trustworthy of a person, because she was such a good girl, that she should be allowed to go out and enjoy her high school since those years are so few. We shouldn't have to worry about if our children are going to come home at night. We should allow them to enjoy their lives and to live it to its full potential. She talked to me about her struggles and how she was just finding the strength to overcome whatever obstacles she was going through, and that she found the meaning of life and that she wanted to live it. I told her life was so good and to just wait and push through these difficult years, and that she was so strong and that she could conquer anything life puts in front of her, as she had done her whole life. It devastates me and all of us that her life was cut short before she even got the opportunity to actually live, before she truly got the chance to shine. But she did shine. Every time she was around us, she lit a sense of happiness in all of us and everyone around her. She wanted to make her parents proud. She kept telling me how she wanted to make her parents proud, and I told her that she did. She made everyone proud. She was such an amazing girl. She wanted to be surrounded by family. She wanted to make the most of life, and the one night she chooses to go out, she doesn't make it home to talk about the fun she had. We never would have imagined our family to be victims to this sort of tragedy and loss, and I guess that proves that you should always be prepared for anything to happen, and that you too could be in this position, but no one should have to be in this position. This is our home, and it truly has been broken with this. We were not prepared to face a loss like this, and no one should be prepared. Our children deserve better, and our Desiree deserved better. Thank you.
We can open it up right now. If anybody has some questions for the family, I'm sure they'd be more than happy to answer some of the questions, and I'll come back and be able to answer any questions that you may have for follow-up as well.
Mi nombre es Jacqueline, yo soy tía de Desiree. Ella era una niña muy bonita, muy hermosa, muy cariñosa con todos. Era muy buena amiga. En sus últimos momentos era la mejor amiga del mundo, esperando a sus amigas que salieran sanas de la fiesta de un tiempo de donde se hubieran divertido. Pero ya en cuanto llegó y vio que no era una fiesta buena, pues sabía que se tenía que salir. Amaba a la familia, amaba salir con sus amigos, amaba mucho a su mamá y su papá. Quería que ellos seran orgullosos de ella y le dijera siempre que sí estamos orgullosas de ella. Y ella no merecía esto, ella merecía el mundo. Y me hace muy triste que el que hizo esto nos ha robado eso, que robaron la vida de ella. Y espero que alguien que sepa algo, que llamen al Silent Witness o que manden las fotos o videos que tengan para que podamos encontrar a alguien al que hizo esto y que sea justicia. Gracias.
Yes. Oh no, she's going into her senior year. Yeah, she was a junior going into her senior year, but last conversation I had with her, she wanted to take business school and also realty, get her realtor's license. So she kind of wanted to be like her big deal right here. It was her.
She was like, I
she looked up to a lot of her older people around her, and I think that's what made her a great person, because she was a kid and she never acted like it. And growing up, we had to tell her to go be a kid, go outside, have fun. And when she got teenage years, it kind of stopped with all that. I was like, yeah, you can stay home. That's fine. But she was gonna be 18 this year, and we were strict parents raising her, and she turned out to be a beautiful young lady. And we were just letting go of the reins, and she never came home. I was fortunate enough to have dinner with her that night, tell her I love her, and I told her get out early. Told her leave early, please leave early, and she didn't leave early enough.
Say something with your question. So I know that, going into her senior year, she had a lot of plans. She wanted to try out for cheer captain this year. She tried out last year, but they gave it to someone else. And she told me, she was like, no, Mom, this year I'm going to be cheer captain. I'm going to be it. We would have to work on a speech and everything as we did for last year. And I knew this year, I was like, okay, well, we're going to have to sit down and do this. And she was always busy, so I was like, you're going to have to make time to sit down and do your speech. And I mean, as far as it was, we were already planning for prom, her senior prom. She just knew that her senior year was going to be her year. And I remember the day on, was it Friday? Saturday? The day before this happened, we got a FaceTime call, and I was with my in-laws, and she told me about her day at work, and she started talking about, her future and going to realtor school, and she planned to do that, and then she wanted to be a notary. She was like, Mom, I'm going to do both things. We won't even need a third person to do all the paperwork. And I was like, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. It just breaks my heart. A lot of people think they know what a heartbreak feels like.
All right. Thank you so much for your guys' courage, your commitment, and honoring Desiree. With that being said, I want to reach out to everybody who's watching this, whether it's on news or social media or whatever platform that you're on. These events that happened all throughout the country, these are heartbreaking moments that affect more than just the family. It affects the community, the extended family. It affects everybody who's involved. So if you have information, please call into Silent Witness. Please do the right thing. This all happened on May 14, 2023, like I said before, just shortly before midnight. The location of this, for anybody that may live in this area and may have video surveillance that was not brought to the attention of police on this horrific day, this all occurred near 91st Avenue and Lower Buckeye Road. If you heard, saw, or you have any information that may be able to be of use for law enforcement, please call into Silent Witness, stay anonymous. Use the online tip site. We need to find the people responsible for these to ensure that it doesn't happen to another family and affect them and their extended family. With that being said, I'd be more than happy to answer any questions that you may have. Yes, sir.
I think earlier, Sergeant, you said crossfire. Do we believe two separate groups were firing at each other?
We know that there was multiple people shooting. We don't know the extent of who was involved, and that's again why we're looking for any of those valuable witnesses, anybody that may have pictures before this incident happened, after this incident happened, anything that can allow detectives to be able to understand exactly what took place in this very confined space and be able to open up and shed light on what happened.
An idea of how many people were at this party?
Right now, we don't have an indication. It was a very large gathering. There was multiple individuals, all for the graduation, plus extended friends and family. So there's a large group of people, and that's, again, why we're pushing out to the community. We know somebody has to have some kind of picture, some kind of video evidence before the incident happened, whether it was 2 minutes before or 2 hours before. Somebody has some information, and it's dwelling on them. It's on their soul right now. Please use the resources available and provide that information so that we can bring some bit of closure to the family.
Do you know like how many gunfire was exchanged on these bullets? Was this like, I don't know, a gunfire for a minute? Was it just something quick?
So that's still under investigation. The detectives are using a lot of that information to gauge who these people are, what their involvement is, and we're going to use that specific information to tie the person or the people related and responsible with this incident so that we can bring them to justice in the end. All right, thank you all. I will be following up this news conference with photos that you see on the PowerPoint over there. I will be sending that out to everybody's desks, as well as the Silent Witness Reward flyer and the media opportunity that we put out earlier. One last question? Yeah, family, are you okay with one more question?
Just if you had the chance to speak to the person responsible, what would you want to say to them?
That's a hard question. Honestly, I think that's the hardest question. I haven't even really thought about it. All I really think about right now is the loss that I have. She was not just my daughter, but she was my best friend, my confidant, my what we call ride or die. But to the person who took her life, I have nothing to say to him, and I just hope they find him.
All right, thank you so much, everybody.
Yeah, the press release, did you receive that?